Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 13th. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this tree card. It says stability and growth on it. And you also have this flowers card. It says romance and sweetness on it. You've been getting a lot of love stuff. We'll see if any love cards come up, but you have been getting a lot of love stuff with me lately, so there definitely could be, romance coming in for you. If you're not, even if you are, I don't really want to say that, because even if you are focused on romance, I think just in your life in general, that you are focused on probably creating more security with that stability and growth card. I think you're more, really what it's popping into my head as is that you are more focused on real things. You're not. It's almost as if the reading is saying to me so far that you are not really focusing on illusions, which obviously, is a good thing. I think you're more focused on kind of like sure things at this time. And you're more focused on kind of like doing activities or working on things that work. And this is a really good reading here, Gemini. I mean, look at these cards. You have some really good ones, but you start with the Judgment card, the Seven of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. This is showing up in your current general energies. And, this kind of looks to me like you are committing to a new purpose or a new direction. The Judgment card is about answering the call to your purpose. These people are standing in these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And they are being called up. This is your higher self angel. And so they are being called to purpose by their higher self angel or the universe or whatever you want to call it. And so I think a lot of you are being, called up to answer the call of your purpose, whatever you think your purpose is. The Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. Seven of Wands says when you know that something is for you, when you really believe it deep down inside, that's when you'll truly be successful. Now, the Seven of Wands, this guy here, he's wearing two different shoes, like a shoe and a boot on his foot, and it kind of represents the fact that he might have had to rush out of his house to defend his position at the top of the hill. And so this is one of my cards that says that maybe you feel like you're not ready or you're unprepared, but really the Seven of Wands says you're as ready as you're going to be. There will never be a perfect moment to do something. You just have to do it now. And so some of you might feel like a little bit unprepared to answer the call of your purpose, right? But at the same time, I feel like you're as ready as you're going to be. I also think that the Seven of Wands, personally I consider it to be a good card. It's like, yeah, he's defending his position at the top of the hill. And maybe he's defending it from people attacking his position. But at the same time, those wands, like each one of those wands is something he's doing to cement his reality. So he is doing things to legitimize whatever it is that he's created, right? And so if you have a business, for example, you could be doing things to make it more legitimate, which is kind of actually securing the position. And that's really what I feel here for you, Gemini. I think whatever you're going for in life at this time, that you're kind of just securing the position. So you might, it's a foundational energy. You might be working on the foundation of something that you are creating. You have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles says take the first small step, right? So Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. He's giving to this person, not this person, so he's also choosing who to give to. But I think for us on a personal level, the Six of Pentacles is about planting seeds in a direction. Basically, getting started on projects, businesses, whatever it is you're working on, and just taking the first step and then, taking the next little step and then taking the next little step. And then before you know it, you're going to accomplish your goal, but you have to take those steps. And, that's really what the Six of Pentacles says. With the Judgment card, you have the Moon, which you have twice right here. So we go Moon, Moon to the Fool. The thing about the Moon is that we can also feel unprepared for our journey with the Moon. The Moon is part of the Fool's journey here. And the Fool, there's a straight path down the middle to those mountains in the background. And so the Fool, he has to get to those mountains, and he has to do this without distraction. These two pillars on the Moon represent being distracted. So the Fool, he has to accomplish something and see something through to the end. And, the Moon is really saying that. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. It's crazy that I said foundational because the Four of Pentacles, sorry, I dropped it and now I need to find it. But the Four of Pentacles is a card of your foundation. Some people consider him to be holding on too tightly to the past, which can definitely be true. But in a situation like this, I feel that this is talking about you working on building a solid foundation under whatever it is that you're creating. So that's just confirmation for me. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands. You have to get started. I knew this was going to happen because you already have the Page of Wands here, right? So, I mean, that's literally why I was talking about taking the first step. The Page of Wands, his idea is more... He is more following his enthusiasm. I always say that, to me, every single card in the tarot, I think they're more multidimensional than people think. Like, I don't look at tarot as just one meaning per card. To me, they give an energy, and it's an energy that I'm reading. And so the Page of Wands, part of the challenge with him, and I think every card can have a challenge, but part of the challenge with him is he is just excited for what he's about to do. But there is no evidence that what he is excited about is going to work. So it's really about kind of like trusting yourself with the Page of Wands and trusting that your enthusiasm, basically following your heart, which you have the Queen of Cups above the Page of Wands, which is all about following your heart. It's about trusting that your heart is going to lead you in the right direction. So, I think it's time to get started. You have this Capricorn card. It says challenges. It says it will not always be an easy path, but if you build discipline, you will achieve your goal. Yes. You have this Taurus card. It says perseverance on it. It says, remember, slow and steady wins the race. Awaken your inner bull to give you patience. So, yeah, again, I think a lot of you have been on this journey. We have the moon twice, which definitely requires both, perseverance and persistence as well. And so I would be embracing both energies. You have the Empress, the Moon, and the Lovers. So you could be very attractive at this time, Gemini, if you're looking for love. Like I said, we have that Romance and Sweetness card. You've been getting these cards with me about love coming in for you. It's not like there's not like a ton of love energy here, but it definitely shows up with the Lovers and, these other cards. So if you want love, then I would, go get attention. The thing with the Empress is like, yeah, she's very attractive, but she's living in a closet that she never leaves. No one's going to see her. So you have to get out of the house, and you have to let people see you with their eyeballs and be able to talk to you with their mouth. And if that happens, then you can find love. So I would get out there. The Empress is also about abundance. I kind of feel like you're on this journey to creating abundance. You have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is coming up in the good stuff, which is good. The Empress, she doesn't struggle with whatever she's doing. All she has to do is wave that scepter in front of her and the wheat will grow. And so she's about kind of like keeping it simple. So if you are working on like projects, businesses, ideas, I would keep it simple with the Empress energy. You have the Moon again. Again, the moon is part of the Fool's journey. It's funny, we go down to the Fool. So the Moon, we have to get to these mountains. And, it's also interesting that this challenge, the Capricorn card says, it will not always be an easy path, but if you build discipline, you will achieve your goal. Climbing a mountain is not necessarily easy, but where do you get the best views? At the top of a mountain. So, I always say that mountains are worth climbing. And, in this case, I think that whatever goal you're trying to achieve here, or whatever you're working on in your life, you could even be working on yourself. I feel that maybe it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And the Moon says, stay on the path. Do not get off the path with the Moon. These two pillars, like I said, are a distraction to the Fool. And they basically tell him he needs to see something through to the end. You have the Lovers, which is your card. So, again, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. This could, of course, also represent love, and I do feel that there could be like a new opportunity. It definitely looks new to me. We have the Lovers, we have the Fool, which would be taking a leap of faith into something new, and it could be any sign. You have basically everything here. I mean, you have fire twice. You have air here, so it could be anything. With the Empress, here you go. You have the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So it could be a king, and you have the King and Queen of Cups, which is great. It doesn't have to be a water sign. The King and Queen of Cups just have an emotional connection, and the Queen of Wands would also represent fiery connection as well. So this could be a very strong emotional connection with also a lot of desire as well. So that's the type of connection that could be coming in here. But I think these are the two people, you and another person, and you might be one or the other here as well. It's like you could be the King of Cups in this reading, you could be the Queen of Wands. It doesn't matter what your gender is either. But I think these are the two people that are showing up here. With the Moon, you have the Strength card. Yes, you are going to have the strength to complete your journey. It won't necessarily be easy, but it will be worth it. And I never encourage people to take the easy way out. They say easy come, easy go. I think it's always worth it to do the harder thing that takes longer because it leads to better results, plain and simple. With the Lovers, you have the Eight of Wands. Weren't we talking about this? Didn't I say this? Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong, actually. I don't think I said this, but I definitely thought it. That, with the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords is about removing friction sometimes, but the Eight of Wands is my card of removing friction from your life. The Eight of Wands, all those wands are pointing in one direction, and things are happening quickly with the Eight of Wands. But the Eight of Wands encourages us to look at what we're working on or to look at what we're aiming at, and it says, can you remove the things that slow you down? Like, are there certain habits? Are there certain people? Are there certain things that get in the way? And, how can you smooth those things out? Now, life isn't perfect, so we always have to do things that we don't want to do. And the Eight of Wands says, how can you make those things better? How can you turn it around? And, again, I can't answer that question for you. So that's definitely something I would be looking at with this card. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says, what do you need to release? You also have this card that says a new start is coming. Definitely a new start coming in for you here. Like I said, I think you need to release things that cause friction in your life. Those things that slow you down, that get in your way, that don't allow you to progress. All that stuff is what I would be removing here. You have the Queen of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Fool. The Queen of Cups is about kind of following your heart, and also the Page of Wands. He's not a card of following your heart, but I mean, kind of. But not really. He follows his enthusiasm or his excitement, which could be heart-based, could be. So I think that this Queen of Cups is saying you really need to tap into your emotions, your feelings, and you need to tap into your heart and what your heart is telling you to do at this time, and you need to allow enthusiasm to guide you. Again, the following enthusiasm is very much moon energy, because with the moon, it is dark, and if you've ever been outside on a full moon, it's casting shadows on the ground, and so you cannot see things clearly in the full moon. You're not sure if it's real or if it's an illusion, right? You're just having to trust yourself. And I think that's, kind of like a little bit of a challenge here, Gemini. Like, not in a bad way. I just think that the challenge for you is to learn how to trust yourself, right? Next, we have the Page of Wands, again, following your excitement, being more joyful. I am getting that energy as well with the Page of Wands, that if there are things that make you feel joyful or things that bring more peace and joy into your life, those are the things that I would really be working on here with this reading. Like, I would be doing more of the things that make you feel peace, love, joy, happiness, all those other good feelings, and that's what I would do with that card. You have the Fool. Definitely a time to take a leap of faith. I think you're taking a leap of faith to the moon. Even though the moon comes up before this card, doesn't matter. I think that you are taking a leap of faith. You have that a new start is coming. The Fool can be a fresh start or new start. So I definitely feel there's like some sort of new start or fresh start, new beginning, something new that you're taking a leap of faith on. With the Page of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, like work hard, play hard, and spinning a lot of plates. Again, with the Eight of Wands here, I would make sure that you're actually doing what you need, that like the things you're doing are you actually need to do, instead of just like being busy. I always say I don't really mind the Two of Pentacles, but it's definitely a card that says if you're just being busy just to be busy, then you're getting nowhere. If you're paying attention to the things that you're being busy on, then different story. So I would really pay attention with that card. With the Page of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. Yes, definitely a connection. I'm pretty sure you've been getting the Two of Cups with me as well. Two of Cups is usually a person who's very different than your usual type. So you are probably attracting a different type of person, but the Two of Cups is you and your higher self as well. So you could be communicating with your higher self, but this could also be like a higher self connection or like a very spiritual connection, I feel. So if you are attracting love, I would go for it. It's kind of funny as well that we have this lion here, and sometimes the lion on the Two of Cups, like let's just pretend we had like the Seven of Swords, the Devil, the Magician, right, and like the Ten of Swords here. If that were here in the reading, I would tell you to be very careful, because the lion can represent someone who has like an overinflated ego, and I did have the word ego popping into my head when I pulled this card out. So there's something about needing to, but like I don't think this person has an ego. It's like there's there's ego, but then there, is it really ego if someone says something and they actually can do it? That's kind of like the energy I get here, where it's like you might be dealing with a person or you might be meeting a new person. You might think this is too good to be true, or there's no way this person does the things they say they do. But I also feel that if you look at the evidence, they do. So, I think that's fine. As long as, they have, the goods to back it up, then is it really ego? Probably not, because they can actually do what they say. And I don't know, there's something like that popping into my head. With the Fool, you have the Five of Wands. Definitely, like I've been saying, challenge this whole entire time, because like it's a very good reading, but I feel like there is some sort of challenge that you are facing. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it here, but we go moon, strength to the Five of Wands. Strength is really about taming your inner voice, or kind of like conquering your inner demons. The Strength card, the Lion, represents her inner voice or her inner demons, but she is conquering those things. The Five of Wands can represent conflict or competition, but I really feel with the two Moon cards that it's not like a competition. I think it's the mountain in the background of the moon. It's almost like you're about to do something that's going to require a lot of work. And I think you are just trying to convince yourself that you can do it, with that Strength card. And the Strength card says, well, clearly you can. Clearly if you conquer yourself, you will accomplish whatever this is. So I would go for it. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Approve card and this Revisit card. It is like a good time for reflection. This Revisit card could be you revisiting something. I just think it's a good time for everyone to, like, number one, look at all their accomplishments just to put things into perspective. But also, I think looking at lessons that we've been through and looking at, I think it's fine to live in the past as long as you're not really living there. You're just maybe thinking about the past, things you've been through in all areas of your life, and you're just looking at the lessons and you're applying those lessons to your life. And as long as you're doing that, that's fine, right? And so I think it would be a good time for you to do that here, Gemini. You have the Eight of Swords, Chariot, and the Star. Freedom, right? The Eight of Swords is feeling stuck, but it's coming up in the good stuff. The Chariot is a card of setting yourself free. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like setting yourself free from something. And the Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. So Eight of Swords says you need to look at all the ways there are to accomplish something. I personally believe this is Gemini's superpower. Gemini has the superpower of being able to look at all the options, all the different ways of doing things, and then put it all together and come up with some genius idea. And so I feel that's what you're doing with the Eight of Swords. You have the Chariot. And the Chariot can represent a victory or charging towards success. So I feel a lot of you, that's really all I get here on the Chariot. I feel like there's a success that you're charging towards. Is it going to be easy? No. 2 moons, right? So you're going to have to like conquer yourself, like I said, and also maybe climb the mountain. But not very many people climb mountains, right? So, I think that by doing this, you're setting yourself apart. And, there will be no competition at the top of the mountain, basically, is what the Chariot is saying. With the Star, I think that the Star could represent self-care in this case. You could be healing yourself. She's about to step into this pool, and then she's, it's a card of hope, faith, and renewal. So you could be renewing yourself or healing yourself, which is great. I do also feel that you could be feeling more focused. The Star is about having a North Star. Having this one big guiding light that you follow or that you move towards, which I think would be a great idea for you here, Gemini, as well. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. It's kind of funny that we said this already in your reading, that you could be doing too much. Sorry, one of my dog hairs was floating in the air. But again, it's like the Ten of Wands is too many burdens, and Ten of Wands says make sure that your responsibilities are your own. Now, in the good stuff, the Ten of Wands can say that you are very close to your goal back here, and you are, he's carrying his harvest, and he's about to accomplish his goal. So you are probably very close to putting your burdens down. With the Chariot, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a change in your fortunes, especially in the good stuff. So you are clearly changing your fortunes or your destiny at this time. With the Star, you have the King of Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles is a card of stability. Didn't we say something? Yes, we did. You have that stability and growth card. You are going to find the stability you desire. King of Pentacles is kind of like ultimate stability. Very good for your finances as well. So if you're doing things to improve your finances, or if you're doing things to build wealth or whatever, then this could be very good for you. You have the Skull card. It says hidden secrets can harm you. I would just be careful of secretive people. We have 2 very secretive cards, the Moon twice, which is a lot of secrets. So I would be careful of secretive people. You have this pin card. It says new job or career. So some of you could be starting something new. I mean, you have this card that says a new start is coming, so wouldn't really surprise me. You have this June card in this face. It says secret admirer. Wouldn't really surprise me. Jupiter will be leaving your sign in June. But, again, between now and June, you could be attracting love. Jupiter in your sign can definitely help you attract love because it expands you. And, if you want love, I would definitely be putting yourself out there because you could be getting more attention. But between now and June could be a great time to find love. You have this goldfish. It says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Yeah, we see a lot of good money stuff going on here. Again, it's not going to be easy. I think you have to climb the mountain. You have to do something hard. I know people don't like when I say that, but I mean, it's life. There is no easy button, right? And I would probably get a lot more views if I said, oh, like you're just going to make all this money. It's going to magically appear. Not the truth, plain and simple. You're going to have to put the work in, but it will be worth it. I can definitely say that. You have this Axe card. It says forces working against you. Everybody feels like this with Mars retrograde. I would ignore it. During Mars retrograde, and especially in Leo, we can tell ourselves stories about, we can just make things up. We can assume things. We can think that someone's doing something behind our back, but it might not be true. I always tell people, focus on yourself. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on what's right in front of you right now. Get it done, and you'll be fine. And so that's what I would do there. But really good. I love this reading for you here, Gemini. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.